Today's lesson is the Intro to Simple Probability. And probability is the likelihood of an event happening. So let's write that in. And it is expressed as a number between 0 and 1. So below it says label the terms on the number line. So unlikely, equally likely, impossible, certain, and likely. So as we investigate the number line, we see 0, we see 1/2, and we see 1, and we see markers in between. If we look at 0, and we're talking about the likelihood of something happening, if it's 0, that would be impossible. So let's write the word impossible. If there's 0 probability, it is impossible. Next, let's go to the number 1. If 1 is our probability, it is absolutely certain it will happen. In fact, 1 is the same thing as saying 100%. So we're going to put certain here. So it will absolutely, the likelihood of it happening is certain. And you may have, when I use the 100%, oftentimes probability is mentioned as a percent, particularly like the chance of rain today is 60%. That's used often. The next one, 1/2. For instance, if I tossed a coin, one side is head and one side is tail, so both of those are equally likely to happen. So we're going to write that below the line, equally likely. Also, 1/2, and if we talk about percent, would be 50%. You've also probably heard it's a 50-50 chance of something. That's kind of an expression. So the in-between lines, if I'm between it being impossible and equally likely, there would be the word unlikely. So it may happen, but it's unlikely to happen. The odds are not in favor of something happening between 0 and 50% are between 0 and 1/2. And then just the opposite of that would be likely. So if we look at this, if it's between a 50% chance and a 100% chance, or between 1/2 and 1, that's going to be likely. So let's write that word in. So we use this probability scale to kind of help us guess, because it's a likelihood. It's not an absolute unless it's certain that an event will happen, but we're kind of looking to see where it kind of falls on the scale. So let's try practicing that. We're going to look at each one of these. We're going to read each example and label the situation with one of these 5 terms: impossible, unlikely, equally likely, likely, or certain. So we're going to do the first 3 together, and then I'm going to ask you to try the next 3 on your own. So if the likelihood of it snowing when it's 40 degrees outside, well, that would be impossible, and it needs to freeze, and the freezing temperature is 32 degrees, and 40% is too warm. So this would be impossible. It might be cold, but it's not going to snow. Number 2, burning your dinner if you cook it too long. Well, it's not certain you're going to burn it, but if you cook it too long, it would be likely that you might burn it. Number 3, water boiling at 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, the boiling point is 212 degrees, so the water will not boil. So this is, again, impossible. So, pause the video if you're watching it on your iPad, and would you please go ahead and answer 4, 5, and 6. If we're doing this in class, we'll share out the answers. If not, I'd like you to take a picture of your answers and submit them if you're doing this lesson online. So now let's go ahead and explore the way that we notate or write probability. So simple probability is the ratio of a successful outcome to the total number of outcomes. So let's write that in. So successful means we're going to see what we're asking to find. So successful outcomes out of the total number of outcomes. And we write it this way. We put a big capital P for probability, and what's inside here is called the event. Like say there's a spinner that had an A on it, or we're picking alphabet letters out of a bag, and the letter was A, whatever the experiment might be. But inside this parentheses are going to tell us what we're looking for, and however many times we see that is what we would write. So it would look like this, where it looks kind of like a fraction, or it is a ratio. So we would see A, the number of times we see A. So I'm going to put a little hashtag, number of times we see A, out of the total number of outcomes. And when we put some experiments below in play, you'll see what this looks like. Next, the probability of an event not occurring is called the complement. So of event not occurring is called the complement. And so it says the probability of the event and its complement have a sum of 1, meaning like fractions. If I had 1/2 plus 1/2, it would add up to 1. Or if I had 3/4 and 1/4, it would add up to 1. But the notation is a little bit tricky. You notice this teeny tiny little apostrophe. So that means the probability of the complement of A, of not getting A. All right, so this would look like this. The number of times we could not get A, so we're going to put number of not A still over the total outcomes. Whoops. So this says, what is the probability of choosing a marble with stripes? So here's a marble with stripes. So the notation looks like this, the probability of getting a marble with stripes. Well, there's 1, so we're going to write 1 on top. That's the number of marbles with stripes. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marbles. So it's 1 out of 5. The next question says, what is the complement of choosing a marble with diamonds? And see that little tiny apostrophe. Well, there are 2 with diamonds, but we want the ones that do not have diamonds. So the complement would be 3 do not have diamonds, still out of 5 marbles. So we don't subtract that amount. It's still, the bottom number is still the number of outcomes, no matter what we put as the number of outcomes. The next example, I'd like you to go ahead and try and then replay this video, see if you agree. So the probability of getting a W, well, I see 1 W on the wheel, and I see 7 sides, or 7 sections of this wheel. And then the complement, see this little apostrophe, and they say the word complement of spinning a vowel. Well, vowels are A, E, I, O, U, and then they also say sometimes Y, but I see an A twice. And so if I were right, the probability would be 2 out of 7, but the complement means of not getting an A, so that would be 5 out of 7. There are 5 letters that are not a vowel. Let's go on to the next page. All right, we are going to try 9, 12, and 13 together. These are the ones we're going to try together, and then I'd like you to try the others on your own. So let's read what it says. Read each problem below and determine the probability of each outcome. So this says a standard number cube is rolled, and a standard number cube has 6 sides. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. What is the probability of rolling a 6? And so that notation, just to remind you, would look like this: probability of rolling a 6. And there is 1 6 on the number cube out of 6 sides. The most common error is to write 6 because we see the number 6 and we want to write, oh, 6 is 6, but it's 1 6 on this number cube out of 6 sides. The probability of rolling a 5 would also be 1 out of 6 because there's only 1 5, my fault, 1 5 on the number cube out of 6 sides. And then odd numbers, well, odd numbers are 1, 3, and 5. There's more odd numbers, but those are the ones in the number cube. So I see 1, 2, 3 numbers, so it'd be 3 out of the 6 sides, or we could reduce it, and we'd prefer probably to reduce it, the 1/2. However, this is technically it. Next, number 12, the letters in the word soccer are put in a bag, so S-O-C-C-E and R, so C is doubled, and drawn randomly. What is the probability of choosing a vowel? So just to remind you what vowels are, you have an A, E, I, O, U. And so I see an O and I see an E. So the probability of getting a vowel is 2 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, we could reduce that and get 1/3. We divide the top number by 2 and the bottom number by 2 to get 1 out of 3. Consonants are all the other letters. So we don't want the O, we don't want the E, so it's S, C, C, and R. So there's 4 consonants out of 6. Again, we can divide 4 and 6 each by 2 to get 2 out of 3 if it's reduced. And the letter C. Well, there's 2 letter C's in the word soccer, so 2 out of 6, and again, that would reduce to 1/3. Last one we're going to do together. So this says, at the pediatrician's office, patients are able to draw a toy from the toy bin. The toy bin has 12 puzzles, 16 boxes of crayons, and 2 bouncy balls. What is the probability of drawing? And then it gives us 3 choices. Well, before we start this one, with the word soccer, we could count how many letters there were. We could see them. And with the number cube, we're familiar with them, so we know that there's 6 sides. However, for this one, we have to know the total number of outcomes. So they mention 12 puzzles, 16 boxes of crayons, and 2 bouncy balls. So we're going to have to add those to get the total number of outcomes. So the total number of outcomes is 30. And if I wanted to draw anything but a bouncy ball, well, there are 2 bouncy balls. So if I subtracted the 2 bouncy balls away from that, I get a total of 28 that are not bouncy balls out of 30. And we could reduce this by dividing both of them by 2 to get 14 out of 15. Box of crayons. Well, they mentioned that there's 16 crayons, boxes of crayons, out of 30 items in that box. So both of these could be reduced by dividing both of them by 2, and we get 8 out of 15. That's as far as we can reduce it. And finally, the puzzles, they mention that there are 20 puzzles. So 20 puzzles out of 30, and 6 will divide into 12 into 30. In fact, that's called the greatest common factor, if you remember hearing that before. 12 divided by 6 is 2, and 30 divided by 6 is 5. So this would reduce to 2/5. If you're unable to reduce, we can also use our calculator, by the way, and we'll talk about that more. You can leave the fraction or the probability or the ratio as is, and we'll discuss how to reduce when I come back. So what I'd like you to do is go ahead and complete the ones we did not complete today. Thank you.